Joke 1. A knight rides on a road. Suddenly, a frog comes to him. "I am under a spell," the frog says. "Kiss me, and I'll become a beautiful princess, and will be your wife and love you forever." The knight kisses the frog and, bamf, it indeed turns into a princess. And the princess is so beautiful, he embraces her, takes her clothes off, makes love to her. Once he finishes, he dresses up and turns away to continue on his journey. "Excuse me, knight," the princess says. "Why are you leaving? Is that a knightly behavior? What about marrying me? What about living happily ever after?" The knight looks at her angrily and flicks her on the forehead. Bamf, and she is a frog again. He looks at the frog, picks it up, and kisses it again. Bamf, a princess. A flick on the head. Bamf, a frog. A kiss, princess. A flick, frog. He thinks, picks up the frog and pockets it. He says, convenient. Joke 2. Fishing. Steve and his buddies were hanging out and planning an upcoming fishing trip. Unfortunately, he had to tell them that he couldn't go this time because his wife wouldn't let him. After a lot of teasing and name-calling, Steve headed home frustrated. The following week, when Steve's buddies arrived at the lake to set up camp, they were shocked to see Steve. He was already sitting at the campground with a cold beer, swag rolled out, fishing rod in hand, and a campfire glowing. "How did you talk your missus into letting you go, Steve?" "I didn't have to," Steve replied. "Yesterday, when I left work, I went home and slumped down in my chair with a beer to drown my sorrows because I couldn't go fishing. Then the old lady snuck up behind me and covered my eyes and said, 'Surprise.' When I peeled her hands back, she was standing there in a beautiful see-through negligee, and she said, 'Carry me into the bedroom, tie me to the bed, and you can do whatever you want.' So, here I am." Joke 3. A dad told his 15-year-old son that he would buy him a car in 6 months on his 16th birthday if he got a job, made all A's in school, started going to church every week, and cut his hair. The son agreed to do all 4 things. 6 months go by and the dad told his son, "Son, you got a job, you are going to church every Sunday and are making all A's in school. But you also agreed to cut your hair, which you have not done. So I'm sorry, but I will not buy you a car." The son said, "Dad, like you said, I've been going to church every week, and I've been looking at all the pictures of Jesus, and he had long hair, so why can't I?" The dad replied, "He did have long hair, and he also walked everywhere." Joke 4. Teacher gave her class this assignment: ask your parents to tell you a story with a moral at the end of it. Following day, the kids came back and one by one go through their stories. There were all the regular things: never too old to learn, never give up, no crying over spilled milk, stuff like that. Next kid up gives this presentation: "My daddy told a story about my grandpa. He was a pilot flying a combat mission, and he only got halfway back when his plane got hit bad. He had to jump out and parachute down to enemy territory, but all he had was a glass flask of whiskey, a pistol, and a survival knife. He drank the whiskey on the way down so the bottle wouldn't break, and when he landed, he was surrounded by 4 enemy soldiers. Graham shoots 2 of them right away and keeps firing at the other 2 until he runs out of bullets. He stabs one of them with the knife, but then the blade breaks, so he busts the whiskey bottle and kills him with that, and then he strangles the last one to death with his bare hands." The teacher was appalled. "Good God! What kind of moral did your daddy say came from that horrible story?" Kid says, "Dad said it was this: whenever Grandpa's drinking, stay the hell away from him." If you liked this video, put a like and subscribe to the channel to not miss other jokes.